I mentioned to you earlier that we were going to talk to Rachael Sanderson, a former politician, and now she runs a very interesting business. I don't exactly know what she does. It's called Flourish with Rachael. Rachael, are you there? Are you flourishing?
Yes, I am, and yes, hopefully I'm helping other people flourish.
Well, it's lovely to talk to you. You know, the first time I met you, way before politics, when you were with, was it John Robert Powers?
Oh, power modelling with Julie Matthews. Yes.
Julie Matthews, yes, yes.
Yes.
Now,
yes, that was a long time ago. That was the early 90s. So.
Yeah, it would have been. And Julie had this wonderful vision of taking people and, creating a finishing school. So young girls and boys could go and learn a little bit about, finessing life or the sort of things that produce a social lubricant, or it just makes living a lot easier if you know the way of the wind, the way of the land, the lay of the land. And that's something you're not taught in school.
That's right. And I did Julie's course or courses, and I ended up working for Julie, and she was an amazing, amazing, inspirational woman. And in fact, when she interviewed me, I always recount that story to every course, every class that I teach. And that was, she said to me, don't ever let me hear you say that you can't do something. And that stuck with me. And it was just such an empowering statement that a lot of people change your own opinion about yourself. So for many girls, you know, whether it's that you want to be an Olympic athlete or a model or an actor, you know, that's hard. That's a hard thing to do, but it's completely achievable. And we've just seen how many people have achieved it, and they've achieved gold, Australia, 18 golds. So there are a lot of people that when you announce a goal that is quite lofty, that whether they're trying to protect you or whether they're jealous or for whatever reason, most people will tell you that you can't do it or don't be silly or what have you. But Julie's philosophy was, don't let me hear you say that. So, she was a wonderful, wonderful teacher. And I went from there, I became the accountant for McLeod's model management because I'd studied accounting at university. Wow. And I'd worked in a chartered accounting firm before going to power modelling. And the reason I went and did a finishing course was because really in the corporate world, particularly as an accountant, but also as a lawyer or any corporate job, if you want to get ahead, you either need to be good at golf or good at socialising and networking. And so I put my name down for a golf course. I never got around to that. Yeah. But I figured that feeling confident, being able to speak well, hold your position, walk into a room with confidence, know how to put makeup on, do your hair, shake hands properly, all of that kind of thing, like you say, that's not taught in school. No. They're important skills. And that's why I'm teaching those again now. Yep. So
and look,
I had an agency for 20 years.
Yeah. And
now I'm doing it again.
Look people in the eye. I mean, it's such a simple but very important thing when you meet somebody. A firm handshake and you look someone in the eye.
Absolutely. And we practice that with even 8-year-olds. We do that for all ages. It's important to learn how to shake hands. So,
did you find all this useful when you were in politics?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's what gave me the confidence to think, why not? I wasn't from a political family. I had no political connections. I'd never been part of a political party ever, but running a business as I was, and it was 15 years I'd had my business. I was on Melbourne Street. I'd watched businesses closed down around me with people's hopes and dreams being lost, women who'd put their superannuation funds into a dress shop or, a homeware shop, and they lose everything because of, I believe, the over-regulation and the wrong focus of the then Labor government. I saw my models that I'd trained up, most models actually university students, despite the, people portraying them as not super intelligent. Most of my models actually were super intelligent, and many of them have their own businesses now that are thriving and doing really, really well. Modelling is a great part-time job to have while you're at university. It's very good for your confidence, and it's great no matter what industry you ever go into. And again, that's one of the reasons, things that motivated me to go into politics was I saw our best and brightest, the people that would build our state, all leave to go to Melbourne and Sydney to get jobs because everything was going downhill here under a Labor government. Unless you were heavily unionised, they don't care about you. So small businesses were suffering, there weren't the job opportunities, and we were losing our best. So I was really, really pleased under the Liberal Marshall government. We actually turned that around, and for the first time, young people, we had people coming into our state because of the way we handled the COVID situation, and because we were bringing jobs here, the Space Centre and all of the high-tech jobs and the cybersecurity jobs. We were starting new industries and changing that. So, it was sad to not win at the election, but I feel that we achieved a lot. And I was part of a really good Liberal opposition and then a Liberal government that got a lot done in 4 years, despite COVID. The legislation took up a couple of years' worth of airtime. There were things that I wanted to get through, but you're always having to pass laws regarding, borders and all of the things that went with COVID. So it was frustrating. I feel like we should have at least got another term to really hit our stride and show the state what we were capable of, because we were, hamstrung a bit having COVID.
Yeah, no, indeed. It very disruptive. Really did disrupt life extensively throughout the entire country. What do you think of the change of leadership for the Liberals here in South Australia?
Yeah, well, I think Vincent is very, very capable. As we know, he's been around
a long time.
Nick Xenophon, he beat Nick Xenophon, which was no easy task. So he's a very good campaigner and a very good worker. And I think he's got the right personality that can have the strength that is required in opposition, because it's really two different personality traits that you need as a leader, whether you're in opposition or whether you're in government. In government, you need a statesman. In opposition, you need a really hard, strong man that's going to come out and oppose and highlight the negative. And I think Vincent has the capability to be both. So I think it's a very good decision.
How old were you when you went into politics?
I just turned 40. Well, I turned 40 3 days after, I think. Or
I thought you were 20.
2010. Actually, I was 40 when I won, and I turned 41 when I... Well, a lot of people would say to me, you're too young to be in politics. And I think, wow, how old do you want me to be? Like, what? You want me to wait till I'm 60?
So how old were you when you went into business?
25.
Wow. And what did you enjoy more? Did you enjoy the business more, or did you enjoy the politics more?
Oh, I enjoyed both. I enjoy whatever I'm doing. I put everything in and I enjoy it. Politics was amazing. The ability to help your community. I got a second city high school built. That was my advocacy. That was my idea, picked up from door knocking and hearing the community. The intersection on Main North Road and Nottage Terrace, where Scotty's hotel is, motel, that was my lobbying that got that intersection upgraded, and the Northeast Road and Stephen Terrace intersection, I got that upgraded. I got, the City South tram stop, I had that made disability compliant. That was something that was ignored for like 16 years of Labor. They didn't care. We came in, we did it. The Ovingham overpass, 25 years that had been on the Transport Department's books that they wanted to do. Liberals came in, got it co-funded with the federal government, done. So, we didn't make a song and dance about things, which maybe is a mistake. Maybe we should have made a big song and dance about everything like Labor do, but we just got in there and we got things done. But then, of course, nobody knows or cares. So
I care.
Get on with the job.
I disagree. I think we do care. I know I care.
Yeah. But not enough cared for us to win the next election. But
Well, I mean,
What are you doing?
when is the next election? The 4-year term.
Sorry, I meant the last election. Sorry.
Yeah,
We could win the next election. So hopefully the next election, it's always the second Saturday every 4 years.
Okay.
The second Saturday in March. So it's 2026.
And are you going,
hang on.
Are you,
2026.
Are you considering going back? Would you like to have another crack?
No, not at this stage. I'm not. I'm happy being in a really positive energy space and, doing work on myself as well as then helping others. Everything I learn, I believe my philosophy is if you know something that will help other people, pass it on. That's why the modelling courses and what I learnt from Julie Matthews and then at McLeod's, I'm passing that on to 10 to 17-year-olds in the school holidays. So that's been going really well. And now I'm also doing health retreats. I've started with women, just one-day retreats, and now I've got a retreat in 2 weeks today down at the Lynx Lady Bay Resort. And that's men, women, families. I don't mind. It could, there's mothers and daughters that are interested. There's girlfriends, there's couples. Just a really good opportunity to take a deep breath, relax, focus on yourself. Business people talk about focusing on working on the business, not in the business. This is an opportunity to work on you rather than, busy all the time. So, so I'm really enjoying meeting so many different facilitators and learning myself about all these different, faster EFT and sound bowl baths and all these different yogas and yin yogas and hatha yoga and tai chi and qigong. There's just so many beautiful things that are really good for you, very relaxing, and it's great to be able to put that together in different programs and make it available in South Australia.
Do you have a philosophy, something by which you live? It could be just a simple one-liner.
Well, one of the quotes that convinced me to start my first business was I read a quote that said, if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you attempt? So that was sort of a quote that sort of inspired me to think, well, you know what?
That's good.
Just do it, go out there and just do it. And then the other, I love quotes, so there's lots of quotes. That I have.
I can't remember who told me, but I can't. I wish I could because it has more impact. But this simple little line that says, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right.
You're probably right. Yes, that was a good one. I've read that book. I've forgotten which one it is. But there's also a quote that I read when I was doing a retreat. So I used to, when I was in Parliament, one of the things that I think really helped me just switch off, reset. It's like rebooting your computer and just taking it a bit of time out so you come back really refreshed. I used to go to Queensland to health retreats, and I always wished there was something like that in South Australia. And there wasn't. So now that's why I'm sort of bringing it to South Australia. But one of the quotes that I read, which I've found, which is from the Dalai Lama, when asked what surprised him the most about humanity, the Dalai Lama answered, man sacrifices his health in order to make money. Then he sacrifices money to recuperate his health. And then he's so anxious about the future that he does not enjoy the present. The result being that he does not live in the present or the future. He lives as if he's never going to die and then dies having never really lived.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Complicated.
And that's why I want to bring retreats. Because we need to just relax and enjoy your life and just be, because I've been there where you're working 100 hours and you're just so crazy busy.
I know, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle. I try to knock this into my kids. It is a struggle, but I think it was Malcolm Fraser who said life was not meant to be easy, and he was just taking the words of somebody else, Ayn Rand, I think it was. Life is not meant to be easy. But
Well, it doesn't have to be so hard either.
No.
You can learn skills and coping mechanisms and things that will make it
another story I heard was that we are born with absolutely all the equipment we need. We are born complete. And all we have to do is to understand how to use the equipment. And this is how this theory goes, that we have in our heads a kind of an Omega navigational device, which is a little bit like, you get into a 747 or whatever the modern version of that is, and the guy sets the navigational device to go from New York to London. And then he can basically sit there in the pilot's chair, and the plane with its computer and its sat-nav or whatever just takes you to Heathrow. Now, this theory is that if you find a destination, you want to go somewhere. I want to be, or I want to do, or I want to become. And you vocalize that every single day and repeat it and reinforce it. This Omega navigational device in your head will take you there, almost as if by magic. Now, I would love to think that is right. I did.
A lot of books say that, you've got to, and we teach that as well. We have pray rain journaling, where you write as if it has already occurred.
Yes.
So you feel it, you see it, you imagine it. And to be honest, with politics, when I decided to run, I don't think there was a single person that thought I could win when there was a 14.7% margin that Jane Lomax-Smith held after 17
But why? You were beautiful.
Years.
You were beautiful. You were beautiful. You had ideas. I would have thought you would have been electoral gold.
Well, but the thing is, it was a safe Labor seat for many years. It was held by a sitting minister,
Jane Lomax-Smith.
That's right.
Yeah.
So she was considered formidable. I think in my instance, ignorance was bliss. For me, it was, as an accountant, you think all I need is half plus one, right? How hard can that be?
Yeah.
I have the same amount of hours in a day. I can work as hard as anyone that I know. I want this. I have ideas. I know we must get rid of the Labor government. We must, for the good of the people of our state. So for me, once I had made that decision, there was nothing you could have done to stop me from having that as my goal. And I could see it, smell it, feel it, taste it.
Yes.
Like I was completely locked in because I had a very, very strong purpose. I knew what I wanted to achieve. Like you said, I had my ideas. I knew I could do a better job.
And you did.
I could see our state going downhill, people leaving our state.
Yes.
People's businesses going
Still happening. Still happening. Still happening.
Well, it's happening again because we've got a Labor government and people just don't realise the link. Cost of living's gone up again. Electricity's gone up again. We brought the price of electricity down like we said we would by $300 and something. We brought the price of water down because Labor had consistently overvalued the water assets, which means the price was higher. We brought the cost of living down and it's gone back up again because you have a Labor government. So you get what you vote for. And if you want the cost of living to go down and you want a proper government, you vote Liberal.
Well, I can see you making another run. I really can.
Oh, well, no. I know. Don't get me started. I'll help. I'm always a Liberal, that's for sure.
You'll have to come in and have a chat to us around the dining room table and take calls and that sort of thing. So we'll catch up.
I don't know.
Well, no,
yes.
we'll catch up.
Thank you. It's been lovely having a chat.
And you, Rachel. I've always admired you, and I think you're a formidable woman, and you've achieved a lot, a great deal, and you've still got a great deal to give. So, yeah, come and talk to us about it.
Hopefully we'll see some of your listeners at my retreat at Lady
How do people?
in 2 weeks.
Well, plug it. How do people? They ring you or go to your website?
Yep, Flourish with Rachael. My Facebook site is probably the best one. So I've got Facebook, Flourish with Rachael. and all the information is on there, or they can ring. My work number is 0423 155 662.
04, give me that again. 0423
423 155
155
662.
662. Rachel, lovely to talk
to you. It's in 2 weeks today. Thank you.
You have, have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you too.